People all the time asking me about code. They might see something I posted years ago and want the code for it. Well, if I wrote it any time back, it's pretty much gone. Especially something from 10, 15 years ago. You know, it's buried in whatever laptop I wrote it on, and there's a whole pile of laptops sitting over there. I don't know which one it's on. This right here is a perfect example. I'm going to have a lot of spare time now because I'm working off again. So what I did this time when I came back, I brought one of the old laptops from a long time ago. I wrote this back in, I think, 2006, 2007 or something, I can't remember. And it's a guy on Forex Factory, bagovino or something like that. He had this system, and I wrote this. I called it bagovino bars. I put a lot of expert advisors. I put them in bars so you can actually see it better. Let's look at the code real quick. Remember, don't use anything that you cannot see the MQ for. Now I had to rewrite it because some of the code has changed over time, but this should compile with any platform. Now I'll upload to enivids site the MQ4 and EX5 both. Bagovino bars. I should have put the link to Forex Factory, and I might put it there. All this is doing, there's your indicator colors and the widths. What he did, he used RSI periods 21, and he used two moving averages, 5 and 12. I just left those the defaults. That's what he used, so that's what I put. In his deal, a buy signal was if the 5 crossed above the 12 moving average and the RSI 21 was above 50, that was a buy. If the 5 moving average fell below, and this is exponential moving average, if the 5 exponential moving average fell below the 12 and RSI was below 50, that was a sell. And I took the alerts out of this. Let me get rid of this right here. Control X. There's no alerts in it anymore. Alerts cause problems, everybody. Can't understand them and all. Cause problems for me anyway. There's your buffers. Just setting, you know how that works there. Okay, here you go. Up. I guess up and down. I should have took that out too because I think that had to do with the alerts, but I'll leave it in there. So here it is. The RSI. The period was 21. The fast MA. Period was 5. Slow MA. Period was what, 12. You can change that up there if you want. It says if the fast MA is greater than the slow MA and RSI is greater than 50, that's a buy signal. And the opposite for a sell signal. Didn't mean to do that. And all it does is color the bars. This doesn't send signals or nothing. That's it. That's all of it right there. And let me compile this because I took that stuff out. No errors. Okay, so let's get back to it if we can. Okay, so here the 5 must have been above the 12 and RSI must have been above 50. See this little magenta one? One of those two rules wasn't correct. On a sell, let's look over here. On a sell, the 5 has to be below the 12 and RSI below the 50. If those conditions are correct, the bars are red. If the buy conditions are correct, the bars are blue. So what you end up with is it appears that you have some signals that don't work out. See there, this would have been a little buy area here. This would have been a buy area. the way I keep out of that is I use a trend. And by now, anybody who's watched any video of mine or read anything I've posted, TSR is kind of what I've just decided on as being a trend. It doesn't matter. You could use anything. It doesn't matter. It's just what you use. So during this period here, I would only be buying or interested in buying if I wanted to. During this period here, I'd only be interested in selling. So see, I wouldn't be buying here because it's red. I wouldn't be buying here because it's red. I wouldn't be buying here because it's red. I wouldn't be buying there because it's red. Because this, you know, the TSR is red. Now you still might say, well, you're still going to have some losers right there. Yeah, you'd have probably lost. I mean, if you'd have entered there, it's what we're on a daily chart, you know, you might have got out, but who knows? What I do is I start with the week. So in this period of time here, I'm going to leave that. You see it's off one, but that doesn't really matter. In this period of time through here, let's go back to daily. All I'd have been interested would have been buying anyway. I would have ignored all this. I would have ignored those sales. I'd only be interested in buying. So if I would only be interested in looking for buys if the weekly and the daily agreed. If the weekly and the daily don't agree, I wouldn't be interested in it. There's too much out there to be just scratching around for every single little trade. There's too much out there. If you look to here, look how much. I mean, that's a lot of movement right there. That's a lot of movement right there. I'm not going to fall all the way down to some minor time frame and try to scratch out a living. I'll sit here and, you know, only buy during this period of time, only sell during this period of time. And if you go on down, like people do, you know how people do it, if you go on down to only when the 240 agrees with the weekly and the daily, you'll end up with smaller losses if you're using the signal to get out. If you think about that for a while, you'll understand. But anyway, this is the bagovino bars. I'll post the code on enivids site, earnforex.com. And I'm going to go through this computer and I'm going to see what all's on it. And if it's something that might be interested to somebody, I'll make a video and upload the code in the same manner here. Both the EX and the MQ4. Don't use it if you don't have the MQ4. And that's enough of that.